Hey there, folks, and welcome to Ask DXFan619, the third, part 2. I was going through my videos today, and I realized that I put up the Submit Your Questions video for this Q&A 3 fucking months ago. And part 1 was released another month ago, so I apologize for taking this long to get to your questions. I really do. It's just part of it is my own strange laziness, and then the other half is some of my videos take about 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes even a month to put together. Like my Sword Art Online video took about 3 weeks from start to finish to put together. So I apologize, and this video won't feature any music. It'll be very podcast style, so you can just listen to it wherever you are, whatever you're doing. And let's just get started. The Phoenix 23 asks, number 1, he has 5 questions here. What are your top 10 games from the last generation, 2006 through 2013? I thought about this a little, and I wasn't able to come up with a list just because some of my favorite games came out a year before. Like, Resident Evil 4 came out in 2005, I think. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney came out in 2005. I think those games actually came out a lot earlier. They were just ported to the DS. Trying to think of what else. I guess Apollo Justice came out in like 07, but I wouldn't put that there. Saints Row 4 came out in 2013, so I'd put that up there. I'm searching through some games right now. Skyrim. When did Skyrim come out? Skyrim was 2011, so that would definitely count. Skyrim would be up there. I've never really thought about giving them all numbers, but Skyrim would be somewhere at the top. I mean, I've wasted so much time in Skyrim. I've put 50 hours into Skyrim, and I haven't done jack shit. Like, I don't even remember what I was doing the last time in Skyrim. I had to uninstall Skyrim 2 times because it was just taking up so much of my free time. I'm like, I'm never going to get anything done if I keep playing Skyrim. There's also Batman Arkham Asylum. That came out in 2009. I'd put that up there. And its sequel, of course. Super Mario Galaxy would be another one. Maybe when did Resident Evil 5 come out? 2009? I'm not sure if I'd put that up there. Maybe it's a top 10, so maybe I could put it at like number 9. Let's see what else here. The Mass Effect games, I've never gotten into the franchise, so I can't really comment. I'm sure they're not bad, but I've just never played them. Oh, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. That came out in 2009. I actually own Soul Silver, and that was one of my favorite. I mean, talk about a decent remake of a great game. Pokemon Silver is actually my favorite. It might be my favorite Pokemon game, and Soul Silver I feel is like very, very. It's a worthy remake. I don't think they fucked anything up with it, so Soul Silver would probably be up there. I haven't played Heart Gold. I'd like to do that one day. Maybe go back and play the original Gold as well. And that's all I can really think of. So let's move on. Oh, this next question. Number 2. What is your opinion on ecchi and harem anime? If you know anything about me, like if you hang around me, or just we talk, you know that I fucking despise ecchi and harem anime. And there's a couple different reasons for that. Number 1 being that most ecchi and harem anime should probably just be hentai. I've never gotten I guess it's like a money thing, where it's more profitable to put out an ecchi than it is to put out a hentai. But by the same token, why not just make a well-written hentai? If you're going, I mean, most ecchi and harem aren't written well. They're written like shit. But why not just make a hentai? I mean, you don't have to, do the convenient steam in the showers. And I know there's some ecchi and some harem that have some capacity for nudity, but it's just so it's so vanilla that, I mean, why even bother? And you can say that some ecchi anime could be just ecchi anime and it'd be fine. But when you delve into harem territory, that's where I'm just like, why the fuck is this not a hentai? I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't get it. I'd rather just watch a hentai or something like Resort Buon or Lover-in-Law or Kanojo. It's why even bother? Okay. Number 3. What games are you the most anticipating this year? Not a lot of games. Not a lot of games at all, just because I don't really have interest in them. Like The Witcher 3. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic fucking game and everyone's going to love it. And I'm sure that whenever I get around to playing it, I'm going to love it too. But I've never gotten into the Witcher franchise, so I can't anticipate a game that I have no prior connection to. A game that I really am looking forward to, but I'm not going to get my hands on until like 2016, is Rise of the Tomb Raider. And since I'm a PC gamer, and Rise of the Tomb Raider is going to be like an Xbox One exclusive, I hear that it's a timed exclusive, and timed exclusives are fucking stupid, but that's just what it is. So the port to PC probably isn't going to hit until like 2016. And I don't mind waiting because we'll probably get the best version of the game, but it's going to be another year until we get our hands on it. But that's a game I'm looking forward to. I really did like the original, or the reboot of Tomb Raider from 2013. I'm a fan of the franchise in general, but I do like that game a lot. There's nothing else. I'm trying to think. What else could there possibly be? I was anticipating Resident Evil Revelations 2, but that already came out and I own it, so I bought it, so I guess I was anticipating it. I'm really happy that they included Claire again. She's the main protagonist of that. And Unreal Tournament 4 probably isn't going to see a full release this year. It might not even see a full release in 2016. That game might release fully in like 2017, so I don't know, but I am looking forward to UT4. I've played the alpha of what they're accomplishing in real time, and it's fantastic. Flak Cannon looks fucking gorgeous. But that's about it. Number 4. What game/anime do you find the most overrated? I've talked about this before, and I don't hate the Call of Duty franchise. In fact, I think it gets too much hate. I mean, there's some games that deserve it, like Ghosts, because Ghost is a piece of shit. But there's other games in the Call of Duty franchise that simply don't deserve the hate they get, because they're not horrible games. They might have some bad gameplay aspects about them, like I know even I would complain about recoil sometimes, but they're not horrible games. With that said, I do think the franchise is overrated because most people think it spawned the entire FPS genre, which is laughable at best. But yeah, it's Call of Duty, I guess. There's not much else to it. I can't think of another franchise. And anime that I find the most overrated anime of all time to me is Code Geass. I know one other person who thinks it's total dog shit, and the rest think it's one of the greatest things ever, which to me is just ridiculous because I don't understand. I mean, the plot has so many inconsistencies. The characters are so fucking ridiculously stupid. There's a lot of fake smartness in the series. Like, they try to make you think that Lelouch is a genius, when in reality, many times he's either an idiot or he's not as smart as the plot wants you to believe he is. Which is something I can say with Death Note that they actually achieved, even though I think Death Note is somewhat overrated as well. L and Light were actually two pretty smart guys. Lelouch is not. Lelouch is, most of the situations he falls in rely on luck and character stupidity, so I mean, I've buried Code Geass in the past. I'll do it again. It fucking sucks. But what else? What else is there? Sword Art Online, one of the most overrated anime of all time. I get comments every day telling me that I fucking suck because I criticize the series. Again, laughable because Sword Art Online fucking sucks. It's absolutely shit. There's nothing fucking good about those first 14 episodes. There's nothing good about the other 12. I think it's a 26 episode anime. And I can only imagine that Sword Art Online 2 is just even, like, some people described it as an even bigger piece of shit. And it commits the cardinal sin of being boring on top of all that. So, I don't know. Sword Art, Geass, Gurren Lagann. I hate Gurren Lagann. And I explained why in the previous video. But that's enough hate spewing from me. Let's move on. Are you thinking of maybe streaming games? Yeah, definitely. I don't know when I'm going to start. It should be soon. You can find me on Twitch at DXFan619 official. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want me to. I'm thinking the first game I'm going to stream is Ride to Hell Retribution. I know you guys want to see me play that that magnificent masterpiece of a fucking game. But I also want to stream some Fear 3 because I have some weird thoughts on Fear 3. Maybe stream some Fear 2 as well, like the parts you guys didn't get to see in my Let's Play because I'm a lazy bastard. I don't know what else, but I have like 84 games in my Steam library. I'm sure I can find something to stream. And he says, P.S. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you. I will. Next question here from Maciel de Pena. I really hope I didn't butcher that. What do you think of the original Soul Eater? Soul Eater's okay, I guess. I read some of the manga. I've read some of it. It didn't seem horrible, but at the same time, it didn't seem like anything special. So I'm sure it's average. I'm sure I would find it average, I should say. And Soul Eater Not Though. Soul Eater Not Though looks like a stinking piece of shit. I can smell it from here. It looks fucking terrible. I mean, why? I guess it's money, but did it really need this? Because I know there's a manga to this. I'm pretty sure there's a manga to Soul Eater Not that was later adapted into an anime, or I might be getting those mixed up, but I don't know. I'm going to review Soul Eater Not someday, probably this year. I just don't know when. It might be the next anime review because I am not, really ready to watch some more Sword Art Online. That video is going to come out, the second part of my SAO review. Don't make any mistakes. It's going to come out, and I'm going to review the whole series, but I'm not in any rush to watch more of the adventures of Kirito and Asuna as they play a bunch of bullshit games and meet other big-titted women. So, yeah. J Anime asks, number 1, favorite fairy tale character. What was the name of that bird from the movie? Mamone? The big Tweety bird looking guy? That's my favorite fairy tale character. That guy, I was watching the movie with a couple friends, and we rioted every time he was on screen because it's just such a stupid fucking character, but it's stupid it's so bad it's good. So that little yellow bird from the movie, Priestess of the Phoenix, I think it's called. Number 2, favorite Saints Row and why? At the moment, it's Saints Row 4, but that's probably because I just can't get Saints Row 2 to run on my computer. And I've modded Saints Row 2, and it still runs like a fucking brick. It's the PC port was horrible. This is one of the few instances where I would say play it on a console because it's just so terrible on PC. But it's Saints Row 4. And I've played Saints Row the 3rd, and that story in that game is just so rushed and chopped, and Steelport is not interesting. Steelport wasn't interesting in the 3rd, and it still isn't interesting in the 4th, but the thing you can argue with Steelport in the 4th game is that the game is so fast-paced that you barely even notice that the city's so goddamn boring. That doesn't mean I hate Saints Row the 3rd. I actually like it a lot. I actually kind of just uninstalled it from my computer, but that was just because I need to make way for another game, and I'm keeping my mouth shut about that game. But that should be something big if I get it. But right now it's the 4th. That might change to the 2nd whenever I get around to properly playing it. Number 3. Do you prefer Mario or Sonic games? Neither. I really like the Bubsy games. You know, the one on the SNES. I couldn't keep that going. Mario games. I prefer Mario games. Sonic games have gone down the shitter in recent years. There's just, I mean, just they don't know what to do with Sonic in 3D, really. I mean, there's been some good Sonic 3D games, don't get me wrong. Like the one where, what was it called? The one where he teams up with Sonic from the past. I played a little bit of that, and I was actually impressed. But I prefer Mario games, because Mario games are consistent. And you can say that Mario games, it's been the same game since, like, 1983. And I'm not sure I disagree, but there's just something magical about Mario games. And even though I dislike Nintendo as a company, I'll never badmouth Mario. Like, I'm sure there's fair criticisms of the series I can make. Like, Mario has no real character, but I love playing those games, and I'm never going to stop loving them. So I prefer Mario games. And that's not to say that the older Sonic games aren't good. They're fantastic in their own right. And I'm sure I could find some Sonic games that I like better than specific Mario games, but overall I prefer Mario games. Number 4. Are you planning on getting Dragon Ball Xenoverse? Not right now, not at the current moment. I've heard good things about it. Like, I talked to Ethos and Anon about it, and they told me it was just fine. They told me it was a decent game, but I'm not really too interested in it right now. So maybe I'll pick it up when it goes on sale or something, but right now, in the near future, I should say, no, I'm not really planning on getting it. Number 5. Do you like High School DD? I'm assuming that's the correct way to pronounce the name. I've never seen it, and it probably falls into the category of ecchi anime. I do hear some people say that it's fantastic, like it's funny, but I just have no interest in watching ecchi anime. I have negative interest in watching ecchi anime. I'd rather fucking play the worst of Fear 2, and anyone who has heard me bitching about Fear 2 knows how much I hate the gunplay in that game, so that's actually real punishment. So, and I've said so about 15 times since I started this video, but no, I don't like it, but that's because I haven't seen it, and I have no interest in seeing it. Number 6. Worst anime opening. Oh, that's an interesting one. The worst anime opening that comes to mind immediately would be Deers. That had a horrible, horrible opening. Another one that just came to mind was School Days. And the only reason it came to mind is because every time it would come on, I would skip it. Now, I don't know if I skipped it because I had disdain for the actual anime, or because it was horrible. So, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. Let me load this video up. Hold up. Alright, let's do a little DXFan619 reacts action here. Let's go into YouTube and watch the School Days opening. Okay, anime School Days opening. Let's watch this right now. Oh, poor animation already. School Days. Yeah, this song fucking sucks. Da 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 da. Yeah, this I remember now why I would skip this opening. It's because I hate it. I don't know if it's terrible though. The music is catchy, and I guess if you like the anime, I guess you'd like it, but I really don't. And watching this just reminds me of how fucking terrible the anime looks. The anime looks like shit. What could they have possibly spent their entire budget on? Okay. Yeah, Yeah, that's enough of that. That's enough of that brain cancer. I don't know. I still say it's Deers because Deers was fucking terrible. Deers was all-time bad anime opening in my opinion. And number 7 is best anime opening. The best anime opening of all time. Oh, you know what? I'm really conflicted right now because there's 2 of them. There is... Let me type this in on YouTube so I can watch it because it's just so awesome. There's the Baccano opening, which the Baccano opening is the tits. It's so fucking awesome. It's one of my favorite openings just because it's so catchy and it introduces you to all the characters at the same time. It gives them little it tells you the names of the characters so you don't get confused while you're watching the anime, but it's fucking awesome. I'm watching it right now. It's fantastic. It's just great. That is one of my favorite openings of all time. I think it is my favorite opening of all time because it's just the music goes with the song so amazingly. I'm watching this right now. Present time. Ha 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 ha. And it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic. The song is, I should say, it's called Duvet by a band named Boa. It's fantastic. Shame you seemed an honest man. It's awesome. You know what? It's Serial Experiments Lane. That's my favorite opening of all time, and that's not going to change anytime soon. I would watch Lane, and I would never skip the opening, which is very, very rare. Like, even with some of my favorite shows, I'll skip the opening just to get to the actual show. But with Lane, I never did that because the opening was just something magical. So, thank you for your questions, JAnime. Some guy asks, and that's literally his username, some guy. Number 1, have you heard of Kitty0706, and did you know he died recently? Yeah, I answered this in the last one, and I didn't know him too well, but it's never good when someone that creates stuff as well as he did just, goes. So, yeah. Number 2, what was the name of that SpongeBob game that you kept mentioning? For those who don't know, SpongeBob, like, my first memory of playing the PlayStation was playing this horrible SpongeBob game. Let me look it up right now. Playing this terrible, terrible SpongeBob game for the PS1. Okay, I've got it here. It's called, SpongeBob... Is this actually it? SpongeBob... Yeah, that's exactly what... Well, yeah, that's what it is. SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge for the PlayStation 1. I remember playing this fucking video game as a child and getting to, like, a part with the jellyfish or something, and I died. I died over and over and over until I just said, you know what, fuck this piece of shit. And I stopped playing it. So, it's SpongeBob Super Sponge. That's the game I always talk about. His third question here is, you follow any sports other than wrestling? No, and I don't really even follow wrestling that much anymore because the WWE has gone to shit. So I don't follow them, but I also don't follow other sports that much either. I just don't find them interesting enough. The reason I like wrestling is because and we can have an argument about whether or not wrestling is a sport, but the reason I follow wrestling is because it's interesting. There's characters and there's storylines and there's there's usually good characters and an engaging storyline, but not always. So I do want to get back into watching New Japan though. New Japan is best wrestling on the planet. If you can watch New Japan, go ahead and do it. It's amazing. His fourth question is, Shaq Fu may not be the worst fighting game. Shaq Fu may not be the worst fighting game ever. Have you seen Shadow War of Succession? Yeah, I've heard of this critically acclaimed masterpiece before. I have to play it soon because it does look worse than Shaq Fu, and that's such an incredible feat to be worse than Shaq Fu. The controls in the game don't even fucking work. So to be worse than Shaq Fu your controls would have to be so horrible, so horrendous, that if you press the D-pad, the universe implodes. That's how bad the controls would have to be for this game to be worse than Shaq Fu. I'll play it sometime. Number 5. Are you ever going to show your face? Yeah, I will sometime. I don't know when, because my philosophy when making videos now, at least reviews, has become to not make the review about me, to analyze what's going on in the game, how the game was created, what's wrong with it, and to make the review really about the game more than my personality, just to list things and analyze things from the video game. So, I don't know, because I feel like if I start showing up in the reviews, it won't ruin them, but it'll stop being less about the game and more about me, which is not something I want to happen. So yeah. Number 6. Favorite/least favorite movies. Favorite movies. Ooh, that's a hard one. The Dark Knight would be up there. I really love The Dark Knight. The Prestige would be up there. Another Christopher Nolan film. What else? What else would be up there? I mean, that's a loaded question, because I watch a lot of movies. So, I mean, I'm sure The Godfather Part 2, that might be one of my favorite movies of all time, if not my favorite film of all time, The Godfather Part 2. The Godfather Part 1 would be up there as well. Goodfellas, I was actually watching parts of Goodfellas yesterday. I fucking love Goodfellas. Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance, I saw that recently. I really liked it. I think I might have liked it more than I liked Oldboy. I saw The Devil was pretty good. Oh, right. What is this? Noriko's Dinner Table. That's a Japanese film by a director named Shion Sono. At least I think that's his name. It's a very, very good film. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, it became one of my favorite movies of all time. It's like 2.5 hours long. It's just amazing. It's a sequel to a film called Suicide Circle. But I mean, these are incredibly obscure films, so I don't know. Least favorite movies, that's that's a tall order. I recently saw 50 Shades of Grey, and that was so horrible that I couldn't sit down to watch it all at one time. Like, it took me 2 days to finish the film just because there's fucking nothing going on in the fucking movie. At one point, Anastasia and Christian, they just start fucking dancing. It's like, is the plot, I mean, the movie has no plot, but let's just assume it kind of does. Is the plot so fucking weak that you can't even hold it up by fucking, like, actual dialogue? There's like a scene where they go flying on a plane, and there's a scene where they start dancing, and the sex scenes are so fucking boring. Like, I saw Nymphomaniac, and Nymphomaniac was infinitely a better film than 50 Shades of Grey. So 50 Shades of Grey would top it off right now. I might review that movie. That might be actually the first movies I fucking hate. I know I said I was going to do Texas Chainsaw 3D, but 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades of Piss is what that movie should be called. It's terrible. And I've talked about this before, but what is that movie called? After Last Season? That might be the worst film ever fucking created. After Last Season was so abysmal. I mean, there's no other way for me to say it, but the film starts out with, like, a guy in a quote, hospital. It's really someone's apartment. And they have this MRI machine, quote unquote, which is really just, like, somebody put a bunch of paper on, I don't even know what it was. Like, let me see if I can find this, because this is just so insulting. After Last Season, MRI. Yeah, this is one of the worst. Oh my Jesus Christ. It's like, you know when you would make a fort out of, like, cushions from your couch when you were a kid? This is exactly what this looks like if they just covered it with paper. Like, who the fuck looked at this and said, you know what? this is gonna be an amazing film. And half the movie isn't even real. Like, half the movie is just 3D sequences, which, oh my god, this movie is so terrible. You know what? I might do a reaction video to this fucking movie one day. This is the worst movie ever fucking created. After last season. What is the tagline for this shit? I know there's a tagline here. Let's where's the Wikipedia on this? Oh my god. This fucking movie. There's no Wikipedia page on this at all. What's the tagline for this? The kind of a sea. I can't read the tagline. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, you guys should prepare for me to review this film, because this is unquestionably the worst thing I've ever seen. And I just remembered that this existed. I mean, I've tried to block this out of my memory watching this. But yeah, 50 Shades, After Last Season, just horrible films. Number 7. Did you see or hear about the Bubsy remake with Unity graphics? Yeah, Bubsy is back. Yeah, I saw it, I played it, it was decent enough. I don't think it truly captures the spirit of the Bubster, but it was a valiant attempt. The game is still horrible. Thanks DX, hope your channel grows. Thank you for asking, and thank you for that kind comment. Michael Pujos asks, he has a bunch of questions here. Can you review the anime called Pupa? I am assuming that's how it's pronounced. It was the worst anime of 2014 to me. You know, interesting enough, I was actually supposed to review that, but then I don't know what it was. I think I found School Days, or I found Deers, and I was like, yeah, this might be worse. So I gave those a shot, but Pupa, whatever the fuck it's called, Pupa, however you want to pronounce that. It looks horrible. It looks like vor incest. So I'm not really sure. I might review it one day, maybe this year. I'm not sure. It'll be a short review because it's like, what is it, like a 36, like it's 12 episodes, but all the episodes are like 3 minutes long or something. It's really short, but yeah. Have you played South Park, The Stick of Truth? No, I haven't, and I would like to. I just haven't gotten my hands on the game. Like I said, I've got 84 games in my Steam library, and about 60 of those I haven't even touched. 60 of those would include, let's see here. Let's go to my Steam library. Let's see how much shit I have backed up here. Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City. I haven't really gotten around to playing those, at least on PC. The entire BioShock trilogy. Deadly Premonition, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Deus Ex The Invisible War, Deus Ex The Fall. Deus Ex The Fall is a piece of shit, but I'm gonna play it anyways. I recently bought Dragon Age Origins, Ultimate Edition. Skyrim. Fear. I already played through Fear, but I haven't played through Extraction Point and Perseus Mandate. Excuse me. I haven't played through those two. I beat Fear 2, but I can't uninstall it. I'm trying to get through Fear 3. Fear 3 is a chore. Fear Online is garbage. And now the next game is Final Fantasy 13, so I need to get through that as well. I've got Hitman Absolution, Injustice. I mean, there's just so many games for me to get through. I have no idea when I get through South Park: The Stick of Truth. I'm actually playing right now a game called Betrayer. And I'm really enjoying Betrayer. It's very atmospheric, and I like the gameplay. So I don't know. Explain in one sentence why Baccano is so amazing. Parentheses, I love Baccano. I don't need to explain in one sentence. I could just say a name. Jacuzzi. Lad. Claire. I mean, just saying a name. Those characters are so fucking fun that you don't need to say a sentence to explain why Baccano is so amazing. Just say Jacuzzi Splot or Claire Stanfield, I think that was his last name, or Lad Russo. Oh my god. Baccano is I want to rewatch Baccano soon, because Baccano is just a ball of fun. And when I compare it to Durarara, whatever it's called, I hate Durarara. And I hate the fact that it got a sequel and Baccano never did. So I'm still salty about that. I'm really fucking bitter about that one. But Baccano is amazing. What is your version of the big three? Meaning, what are the anime that you would put in your top 3 of all time? Mine is number 3 Baccano, number 2 Soul Eater, and number 1 Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Let's go to my mouth. I already know what the 3 are, but let's just let's recap here. I gotta make a video one day soon where I read off all my anime ratings. That should be fun. So, number 1 is unquestionably Neon Genesis Evangelion. That's my number 1 anime of all time. I love Evangelion. Number 2, I can't put Ghost in the Shell because Ghost in the Shell is a film. I would only put top 3 in terms of series. So number 2 is, by default, Serial Experiments Lain. And number 3 by default, because it's Wolf Children, I can't put in there because it's a movie. Number 3 would be Psycho-Pass. So my top 3 anime series of all time would be Evangelion, Lain, and Psycho-Pass. Now, if we went to the top 5, number 4 would be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 5 would be Baccano. Although, I don't know, because there's Steins Gate, and there's Standalone Complex, Ghost in the Shell, so I don't know. But my top 3 are unquestionably Psycho-Pass, Lain, or Evangelion, Lain, and Psycho-Pass, in that order. What is your opinion on the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise and from what it has become? From what is it become? Sonic has endured a lot of bullshit. I'm amazed that the franchise is still alive after the disastrous Sonic Boom Rise of Ass. But I don't know. The Sonic games, in my opinion, were always so fun to play because they were distracting. Like, I could pop one in and escape from the rest of the world because Sonic was so fast paced and it was very fun. And the games, I don't want to say they started sucking when they started, trying to input more story narratives, but the game started sucking simply because I don't think they transitioned very well to 3D. So that's how we got Sonic 06, and that's how we got Shadow the Hedgehog. I think Shadow came first, I'm not sure, but either way, it was a piece of shit. Sonic is not going to come back. There's never going to be a game, I think, as good as the 2D or even the better 3D Sonic games. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So, is Sonic going to keep living? Yes. Are the games going to keep being mediocre? Yes. Will we get maybe a great game every once in a while, like every 3-4 years? Probably, but I don't think Sonic is ever going to return to his, former glory as he once was. But that's why we have the Sonic comics. You read the Sonic comics, those are amazing. Those are really fun to read. You don't need to play the games. Don't play the games anymore, just read the Sonic comics. His next question is, would you rather get your head cut off, put in a bag, and on a boat with a psycho, or watch another episode of Sword Art Online, or play another Bubsy game? I'm gonna choose the first option because the psycho on the boat with me would probably be Kotonoha, so she's pretty hot, even though she's fucking out of her mind, she's pretty hot, so if I survive the decapitation, at least I can be with a good-looking woman. Otherwise, I'd have to watch Sword Art Online and subject myself to Kirito's 2-year-old glopping semen, or another Bubsy game, which might cause me to just kill myself, because if they ever did make another Bubsy game, there's no way that it could possibly be good, because Bubsy is an inherently flawed property because the protagonist is just a dipshit. So I'm gonna go with decapitation. What is your favorite gaming franchise? That's a hard one, because I tend to stay away from most big franchises. I like the Unreal franchise. They have had some missteps, like Unreal 2. I hate that game. I'm also not the biggest fan of Unreal Tournament 2004, but I still enjoy it. I still think it's a great game. I really do like the Unreal franchise. Oh, Resident Evil. I fucking love Resident Evil. And Resident Evil, Ace Attorney. I think Ace Attorney is actually my favorite gaming franchise. There's only been one game that I consider just... It's still a fun game to play. It's still very fun to play, but Apollo Justice is kind of like... I don't want to say the redheaded stepchild, because Apollo Justice has a place in this universe, and it's a fun game to play. It's great. But it's not as good as the first 3 games, and I don't even like it more than Ace Attorney Investigations with Miles Edgeworth. So, I don't know. But my favorite gaming franchise is probably Ace Attorney. His next question is, your thoughts if the Bubsy games got rebooted? Oh my god. Bubsy getting rebooted would be Judgment Day. Okay, so Bubsy would come out of the sky and he'd say, "You motherfuckers! You disliked my games! It's time to kill you, pieces of shit!" And of course, then we'd get Bubsy 4D, where we get to strap a big Oculus Rift onto our heads, and we get to get the piss slapped out of us by Bubsy. That would be the next Bubsy game, Bubsy 4D, with Oculus Rift and Kinect support. But no, if they ever rebooted those games, like I said, it'd be terrible. It'd be the worst fucking thing ever, because Bubsy's just not a likable protagonist. And I think it was, who was it? I think it was JonTron who said it. Bubsy 1 is a shitty game because the levels are designed like Sonic levels, but Bubsy moves like Mario. So that game was terrible. The second game had even worse level design. The third game had worse controls and worse level design. And then the fourth game was a disaster. So maybe if you gave Bubsy to a competent studio who knew what they were doing, maybe you could get a good game. But if the games ever got rebooted, they'd probably just be shit. Out of all the anime you reviewed, which was the anime where you thought was bad but not terrible? Bad but not terrible. Bad but not terrible. Ergo Proxy. I kind of regret my Ergo Proxy review in some ways, because I think Ergo Proxy is mediocre, but I don't think I explained it very well. And I think that's like my most disliked video of all time or something. But I think Ergo Proxy is mediocre to bad, but I don't think it's terrible. I think I gave it like a bullshit. I don't think I gave Ergo Proxy a rest in piss. And that's about it, because I think everything else I've given a rating to deserved it. The Fairy Tail movie deserved the rest in piss. Sword Art deserved the rest in piss. Deers what did I give Deers? I don't even remember. I'm assuming it was a rest in piss, but it might have been a bullshit. Deers was terrible. But yeah, that's Ergo Proxy. Ergo Proxy is the one where I thought it was bad but not terrible. Keep up the great work, and hope if you answer my questions. Thank you for the comment. Jack Frostler, aka Cowpea, asks, "Oh, okay. There's 8 questions here. Do you play fighting games? If so, which ones? If don't, why not?" I own a lot of fighting games, like in my, let's see here, my Steam library. I have, I bought Injustice, and I bought Mortal Kombat 9. I also have Schoolgirls, what the fuck. I also have Skullgirls. So, I do own fighting games, and I have played them, but I'm not a big fighting games guy. It's just because I'm not very good at the games. Like, I don't memorize the combos very well, so that's probably why I suck at them. So, yeah. But I do, like, if I have the time to learn all the combos, and I'm sure I'd play them, because they're fun games. It's just the combos would take a lot of time to learn. When are you gonna review SAO or Soul Eater? This Q&A is so old that I already put out my review for Sword Art. But I don't think I'm gonna review Soul Eater, because I don't think I hate Soul Eater. I don't think it's terrible. I mean, I'd have to read all of Soul Eater, or I'd have to watch all of it, and I don't really want to do that. But Sword Art is already out. Number 3. What are the best JRPGs you've ever played? Huh. I don't think I've played too many, strictly JRPGs. Let's look up here. Popular JRPGs. Yeah, I don't think I've played too many JRPGs, to be 100% honest. I don't think I've played too many of them. Just because these games, it's not that I dislike them again. It's not that I dislike them. It's just that they take up a massive amount of time, which, as a video game reviewer, I can't spend all my time playing one game. Like, I constantly have to be playing a bunch of games. Even if they're terrible, I still have to play a bunch of other games. I guess that maybe, I don't know, would Parasite Eve count as a JRPG? Because I did really like Parasite Eve. But I'm not sure that would count as a JRPG. It was made in Japan, and it's an RPG, but I don't know if people really consider it that. I do have to get into Final Fantasy 13 soon. Oh god, no. But yeah, I do have to play that, and I don't know. I don't play many JRPGs. It's once I find the time to do it, I'll do it. But I just haven't found the time, sadly. Can you believe that, his fourth question here, can you believe there is a Mars of Destruction PS2 game? Yeah, I knew that. When I was doing research for Mars of Destruction, even though that review was like off the cuff and very live commentary like, I knew that there was a PS2 game. It's just I couldn't get my hands on it because it was like only released in Japan. The game looks terrible. The OVA is terrible. Skelter Heaven is the same situation, and that's also terrible. I don't know. I have no clue what they were thinking with that entire thing. His fifth question here is, favorite Unreal Tournament map? Oof, that's not even a question. My favorite Unreal Tournament map of all time is Facing World from UT99. Every single time I enter that map, I'm just mesmerized. I think it's the big Earth floating over the two towers. I just love playing on that map, and I don't think I'm ever going to stop loving playing on that map. Like, every time I load up UT, I always play whatever incarnation of Facing Worlds there is. So, yeah, that's my favorite Unreal Tournament map. Deck 16, big shout out to Deck 16. What is that map called? The assault map from the 1999 game. Frigate, I think it's called. I also love Frigate from UT99. I'm trying to remember some of the maps from UT 2004. Like, I don't remember them by name, but I do remember having a lot of fun on them. Like, I can go back and play UT4 or UT04 back, and I'd still enjoy a lot of the maps. Number 6 is, did you watch Montage Parodies? Are these the guys that did that one Mario video where he's like all MLG and he's drinking Mountain Dew? Are these the same guys? I have no idea, but if they are, I've seen some of their stuff. But I don't think. Oh, these are the guys I think who made the fuck is that called? The meme. Ethos uses it for every intro. I've used it too. Meme Circus, that's what it's called. If they're the guys who made Meme Circus, yeah, those guys are fantastic. But I don't know. I haven't seen too much of it. Number 7. What do you think of Naruto and Saint Seiya or Saint Seiya? I'm not sure which is the correct pronunciation. Naruto, I don't really have an opinion because I haven't seen it, and I don't have any plans to watch Naruto in the near future because everyone tells me that Naruto, like, it's the battle anime curse, where battle anime are just poorly written and shitty. So, I mean, I have enough on my plate with Bleach, which I caught up on kind of recently, and I don't want to read more Bleach because Bleach's pacing is terrible. So, and Saint Seiya, I haven't seen it either, but I hear it's one of the better shonen demographic anime, so, kind of battle anime-esque, so I might check it out soon. I'm not sure. Number 8. Have you ever watched Hokuto no Ken or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure? No, but I hear those are actually pretty good too. And JoJo, I think, got like a remake anime or something recently, and I'm kind of interested in watching that because I do hear I do hear a lot of people tell me that it's good. So yeah. Thank you for the questions, Calpy. That is amazing username. Just amazing. Amazing username right there. The Doctor64 asks, number 1, what is love?
Baby, don't hurt me no more.
His second question, the Doctor64, are you a fan of Stanley Kubrick's movies? Yeah, I think I've talked about this before. I really do like Stanley Kubrick's films. What was it I was watching recently? Was it The Shining that I was watching recently? Like, I was watching one of his films recently. I think it was The Shining. Oh, I just bumped the pop filter on my mic. Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of his films. I actually want to marathon them all soon one day because his films just say something to me. I don't know what it is, and I really enjoy the atmosphere of all his movies. Like that's one thing he knew how to do. Especially The Shining is a prime example. A lot of people say it's the greatest horror movie of all time. I'm not sure I'd agree, but it's one of my favorites. It's definitely one of my favorite horror movies of all time. It's just it's engaging. His films are engaging and they're different. They're unique films. So, yeah. What do you think of Steam Early Access? Oh, that's a big one. Steam Early Access is very good for some people, and for other people it's absolute shit because since Steam has this no police policy where they're hands off, there's a lot of shit. Like there was a game recently, where did that game come from? I'm not sure it was an early access game, but I think it might have been on Steam Greenlight. Where did that game come from? There was this game that came out recently. I think it was on Steam Greenlight. I think it was called like Kill the Faggot or something. Some ridiculously just stupid. Just something stupid. But I think that came through Greenlight, not early access. I don't know. And there's the issue of buying early access games if you don't really know they're going to be finished at all. That's I don't think that has to do with early access. I think that has to do with people just being stupid. And if you have no assurance that a game is going to be finished or that a game is going to be good when it's finished, why the fuck would you buy it? Some of these other games, it's just, why would you invest the money in buying this if you don't know if it's ever going to be finished? I don't know. That's just one of those things. And his last question here is, hate or like Oraimo? I've never seen Oraimo. I'm never going to watch Oraimo. I have a friend who tells me that it's fucking dog shit tier quality, so I'm never watching it, never will watch it. I just can't ever see myself watching it because I don't want to review it. I have no interest in watching it at all. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Oraimo. It's probably terrible. Joe Skomank Jordy asks, what are your favorite and least favorite movies of all time? I already answered this, but The Dark Knight, The Godfather Part 2, Goodfellas would be up there. There's more films, of course, but I can't remember them. Least favorite, After Last Season would be up there. 50 Shades of Grey would be up there. Some other. Resident Evil Afterlife, that movie fucking sucked. But yeah, thank you for your questions, you too. I forgot to mention the Doctor 64. Gaming Ethos asks, what is your hype level for the Psycho Pass movie? Oh, Lord, the Psycho Pass movie. I think it already came, it came out in Japan a long time ago, like 3 months ago, but I am excited as shit. Like, you know what? Never mind. I'm not excited at all, because I get excited for movies, and then, I go into things with expectations, and I'm disappointed when they either suck or they're just not very good. But I do hope it's a good film. I seriously hope it's a good movie, and it moves the plot further, because that's one thing I like about Psycho Pass. Even Psycho Pass 2, a lot of people don't like it. Like, there's some people that think it's inferior. And don't get me wrong, I do think it's inferior to the first series, but I don't think it's total dog shit. I think that's ridiculous. That's going a little too far. But I hope the movie's good. I hope the movie's good, legitimately. So thank you, Gaming Ethos. Japanese Zeros asks, if you really hate Bubsy, then why you post pictures of him so much? He's recognizable, and people recognize him because I've done a lot of videos with him in it. Mike Smith asks, what are your favorite games and what is your first one? Favorite games, like I said, I don't have a list. That's a lot of stuff to. I'd have to sit down and make like a very long list of games, which I think I'll do one day, like DXFan619's top 20 games ever. But I don't know. I don't know. I've said that a lot of times. And what is your first one? The first game I remember playing, I think it was the first game I ever remember playing. I think was Super Mario Bros. Deluxe on the Game Boy Color. I think the first PlayStation game I ever remember playing was a Super Sponge Garbage. So yeah, thank you for your question. Charles Morris asks, would you review video games based on movies simply due to the fact that those games are poorly made and rushed? Yeah, this question is old, so I think it came out before my review of Rambo. Rambo! Oh, that was such a great video game. I really loved it when every time you would finish him, or every time you would die, Colonel Troutman would yell, "Oh, Rambo! Rambo!" And every time you would finish a mission, Rambo would stab his knife into the table and say, "Mission accomplished," or maybe some nonsense like that. Fucking Rambo video game bullshit. But I did end up reviewing that, and I also reviewed The Walking Dead: Survival Instinct, which isn't based off a movie, but it is based off a popular television series. So yeah, I'm definitely I'm definitely open to reviewing movie-based licensed games. So yeah. If Bubsy was a real-life being, would you massacre him? No, because that's against the law. Okay, breaking the law is bad. Okay, I don't know. I mean, that's such a hypothetical question. Maybe if there were no laws, yeah, I'd probably fucking run him over with my car or something. I'd run him over and back up and do it again, because it's not like he's gonna die anyways. If you've been watching my videos for a long time, I think you've come to the conclusion that Bubsy is simply immortal. I blew him up at one point. I sent Doom Guy to kill an army of him in hell, and he survived that. So he's probably immortal at this point, sadly. Number 3, what ethnic group do you belong in? I am a Hispanic. Yes. Number 4, will you review unpopular games such as Mercenaries for the PS2? Thanks, bro. Thank you for your questions. Mercenaries for the PS2, maybe? I don't know, because they are unpopular games and they probably wouldn't do very well in the views department. But if I could get my hands on it and actually sit down to play it, maybe. Because I always hear good things about that game, Mercenaries for the PS2. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong game, but I'm pretty sure that's a game that a lot of people liked. So let's see. Yeah, a lot of people did like this game, but apparently it was unpopular, it didn't sell well or something, so sadly. Never got a sequel. Did it get a sequel? No, it was canceled, right? Mercs Incorporated. Sadly, it was kind of canceled. Okay. Maybe, if I can get my hands on it. Ultra Spinky asks, hey DX fan, love your videos and content. What are your thoughts on Attack on Titan? Do you like it, or is it just not your cup of tea? I don't dislike Attack on Titan. I wouldn't go as far to say as I like it, but I do find it tolerable. It's unique. It's an original idea. It executes it, I think, to the best of its capabilities, but the characters don't do much for me. Especially Eren. I hate Eren. I think Eren's an idiot, but if you handed me Attack on Titan, I would read it. Like, if you handed me some of the manga, I would definitely read it. I actually prefer the manga to the anime. I prefer the art also. A lot of people don't like it, the art to the manga, but I find it that it's unique. Like, it's just, I've never seen anything like it, and that might be because it's not as refined as some of the other art I've seen in other manga, but I do enjoy it. Number 2. Did you ever hear of an anime called Hellsing Ultimate OVA? Personally, I loved it and thought it was a very good anime with awesome music and action. Yeah, I always hear about Hellsing Ultimate. I've been recommended it numerous times. I think I will watch it one day. Hellsing Ultimate it seems interesting to me. It might just be dumb fun, but dumb fun is not inherently bad. Like something like Gurren Lagann, which calls itself or wants to be just dumb fun for the first like 13 or so episodes. That was bad because I just didn't give a shit about any of the characters and I thought the story was weak. But dumb fun doesn't have to be bad. And maybe I'll watch Hellsing Ultimate soon. Number 3, will you ever do an anime I fucking hate on FMA Conqueror of Shambhala? Maybe, because that movie is so atrocious. I think like in one of the commercials for the film they said, "This is the most satisfying conclusion to an anime ever." And if you've ever seen Conqueror of Shambhala, you would just laugh your ass off that anyone could ever possibly say that about Shambhala. Shambhala is a mess of a film. It's muddled. The characters had the potential to be good, but they ruined them. Like, oh, whoops, I just bumped my pop filter again. But what was the name of that character? Alphonse Heinrich. I think that's what the name of the character was. He, like, you know what? Never mind. That's a spoiler. What happens to him is a spoiler. But there's just what happens to him at the end of the movie is just so stupid and anticlimactic. It's so ridiculous. But I might do it because I really don't like that film. Love your stuff and thank you for answering my questions. I hope your channel gets massive. Thank you for asking your questions. And thank you for being patient enough for me to release this because you asked this 3 months ago. Japanese Zeros has another question here. If you don't know what I am saying, then see this. Do you think Yoko is sexy? To me, well, she is not because I've seen all the bikini anime chicks anyways. I assume this means Yoko from Gurren Lagann? That's the only Yoko. I think that was her name anyways. Do you think Yoko's sexy? No. Isn't Yoko like 14 years old or something? That's creepy, but I know a lot of people that fantasize over Yoko, which is fucking weird, but I don't know. I never really found her attractive even when she was older. Like, what is it, a 7-year time skip? I think she's 21 by the time, in the time skip where she's like teaching in school or something. I didn't find her very attractive then either. Okay. Silver Blades Alayer asks, what is your favorite movie of all time? Again, another loaded question. My favorite anime film of all time is the end of Evangelion, Neon Genesis Evangelion, End of Eva. But I'm not really sure what else, like, cause like I'd have to make a big list of my favorite movies. I'll say tentatively right now, my favorite film is The Dark Knight. I own it on Blu-ray. I got like the special Blu-ray box for the Dark Knight films by Nolan. I'll say that, but I'm not really sure it is because I'd have to rewatch all these films. Thank you for asking. Ryan, the Sneaky Lizard Callan asks, is my request for Spider-Man cross X-Men in Arcade's Revenge planned for the summer of 619? I'll probably try playing it then because it's 20 videos that I have to get out by the summer of 619, which actually the summer is coming close. Summer is coming very soon. So I won't say you'll definitely see them because there might be other things, but you might see them. I don't want to say automatically that you will see them and then it just doesn't happen and I sound like an idiot. So, number 2. Who is your most hated video game character? I want to say Bubsy, but I'm pretty sure I could find somebody worse than Bubsy. Like if I thought about it. I don't know because most of my hated characters come from the anime genre. So I don't know. I'll say Bubsy. And number 3. What is your favorite Mega Man game? I'm not sure because I haven't played too much of Mega Man. I was asked this by somebody on Twitter recently. Why are you a fan of Mega Man? And I'm like, yes, I'm a fan of Mega Man, but I just haven't played many of the games because I don't have the consoles to do it. Like if Mega Man came to PC, which I'm not sure, maybe there's some games that have been on the PC and they're just not on Steam, but I would definitely play them because I do enjoy the whole platformer thing with Mega Man and everything. It's not that I don't have any inherent dislike for Mega Man. So, I don't have a favorite game, but that's just because I haven't played enough of them. Thank you for your questions, Ryan Callan. Outlaw Slate asks, is Mindjack planned for the summer of 619? Sadly not, but that's just because I haven't gotten a recorder to record my PS3. Like, right now, literally, I am holding a copy of Mindjack. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I have it right here, and I bought it on Amazon for $3. I'm holding it right here. I have the manual in my hands. Let's go to one of the new pages. One of the pages with stuff that's actually worth a shit. Is there any character bios here? Basic moves, adjust camera, throw grenade, hack out. No, there's no real character bios. I don't see shit here. Limited warranty. Let's go to the back of the game. Let's see if there's anything. What does it say here? Hack or be hacked. AD 2031. A radical technology is hacking into the minds of men and into machines, instantly turning allies into enemies. As a government agent, you must unravel a dark conspiracy and use this technology to keep society from slipping into chaos. Jump instantly between single-player and multiplayer games. Control your enemies by enslaving their minds. Mind hack and play a variety of lethal characters. Rated mature for blood, language, and violence. This sounds like shit. This sounds so fucking awful. One of the pictures in the back is just of random gameplay. Like, it's like, why is this a feature that you must feature on the back of your game? Control your enemies by enslaving their minds. This sounds so stupid, and on the cover there's a fucking gorilla attacking the main male and female characters. Is it Grud? That'd be kind of interesting, but I don't think it is. This is terrible. www.mindjackgame.com. Multiplayer messaging / friend invite in-game voice chat, add-on content and trophies. Why would they put that as a feature? This looks terrible, but I don't know. Is this planned for the summer of 619? Sadly, no, but that's just because I haven't gotten recorded for the PS3. Number 2. Do you play any visual novels? If so, what is your favorite? If Phoenix Wright counts as a visual novel, I guess Phoenix Wright would be there because Phoenix Wright is my favorite visual novel series, I guess. I've played 999. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really do like 999. I played a bunch of that on the DS. I gotta play the sequel. I don't remember what it's called, but there is a sequel to the game. There was also I tried to get my hands on like Jake Hunter or something, but I'm not really sure if I ever got my hands on it. I guess Phoenix Wright would be my favorite just because Phoenix Wright is the only one I really have ever played. I don't play too much of them, but I would like to. His third question here is, what is your favorite old anime? Favorite old. If we're going back into the past, Neon Genesis Evangelion and Ghost in the Shell both came out in 1995. I think they actually came out in the same season, which was fall season or something. Those two would be probably my favorite old ones because I don't think I've seen anything that dates back to previous than 95. So I guess it would be that. Thank you, Outlaw Slate, for your questions. Diego Hernandez asks, what are your thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's 3? I have no clue because I haven't played the game. I played the first one and it just wasn't really my cup of tea, to be honest. I don't know. It just wasn't my cup of tea. It did scare me. I will say that, but I don't know. I didn't dislike it. It's just, like I said, not my cup of tea. So I don't really have any thoughts on the third game. V Kizo asks, will you make another top 10 worst game or top 20 worst games ever? And will you make a top 20 worst anime ever list? Another top 10 worst games ever? That's going to happen. It's going to be an entirely new lineup of games. I just haven't played enough games in order to fill a top 20. And top 20 anime is never going to happen because the copyright problems that would be involved with doing something like that, it's not worth my time to create it just for it to get wiped off YouTube, wiped off the face of the planet by Funimation or TV Tokyo or anybody like that. Thank you for your question. Siu Lima asks, and I always feel like I'm butchering his name, but he always comments on my videos. Really nice guy. Number 1, what was the first bad game you played in your life? How you reacted to it, and if you managed to finish it, and did you manage to finish it? The first bad game was SpongeBob SquarePants Super Sponge. I hated it. I stopped playing it, which means I never finished it. Number 2. Is there a possibility of doing reviews of real-time strategy games, either good or bad, like Stalin's versus the Martians? RTS games really aren't my cup of tea, but I guess I could delve into them, because maybe I'll like them if I actually give them a fair shot. Stalin versus the Martians, I hear that game is terrible, so I might give it a shot one day. Like, maybe I'll stream it on Twitch, or maybe I'll do a DXFan619 plays. Thank you for your question. Terrell Freeman asks, what is your most anticipated game this year? I answered this previously. I guess it would be Rise of the Tomb Raider. Barboom12 asks, did you watch/read Beelzebub? If you did, what is your opinion on the series? I haven't really read it. I know what it is, but I haven't read it. And I have no opinion on the series because I haven't read it or seen it, and people haven't even I haven't even been talked to about it. So maybe that's a good thing because nobody's told me that it's bad. So, number 2, why do you hate Fairy Tail so much? Fairy Tail is terrible. Fairy Tail is written poorly. It has very bad characters. The plot is a plot device. That's the best way I can describe it. The plot just functions to whatever it needs to be. It has no semblance of consistency. Maybe I'll review it one day. I've been reviewing Sword Art, but I don't know, because I don't think Fairy Tail's worse than Sword Art, but it's a more bad anime I gotta watch, and I'm trying to stay away. Number 3, which language do you want to learn the most? Japanese. I really do want to learn Japanese. I don't know. I'd like to learn Japanese just because learning another language is always helpful in life in general. And one of the benefits of that would just be watching Japanese content without subtitles, not just anime, because I watch a lot more Japanese things than just anime. Some of my favorite films of all time are in Japanese. Which country do you want to visit the most? I guess it'd be Japan? No, I don't know. I'm not sure. I've never really given that any thought. I kind of like where I am, so I've never really given it much thought. I like where I am, and I think I'm going to stay here. Thank you for your questions. Shawnson Dixon asks, can we expect anything different from you and your videos this year? This question was asked 3 months ago, so I've already started doing different things. I think my videos have gotten better in general, like production value wise and everything. I've tried a new style where I educate an audience on what something is, like Sword Art, and then I just tear into it after I'm done doing it. But I'm not sure. I guess it's that. I've tried to make my videos better, a lot better. And the final question I'll answer for today is by Nod Lucario. Number 1, what other Monolith production games have you played? For example, Blood, Shogo Mad, or Nolf. Nolf stands for No One Lives Forever. That's a very popular spy game. And Shogo Mad stands for Shogo Mobile Armor Division. I haven't played any of them. I will admit that, but I do really want to. Nolf, I think, recently became abandonware, which, I mean, if I can't buy the game from anyone else, and I want to play it, I guess the only way to play Nolf and Nolf 2 at this point would be to pirate them, because no one's selling them. Warner Brothers has no plans to do anything with the franchise, so I guess I'd have to pirate it. But I do really want to play Nolf. Nolf is the one that interests me a lot, and I think these were all they all have the same lead designer, And Fear has the same lead designer too. I think it's Craig Hubbard he wasn't the lead on Blood. He worked on Blood, but he wasn't the lead. I think he was the lead on Shogo, and he was the lead on Nulf, but I could be wrong. I know he was the lead designer on Fear, but yeah. His second question here is, do you play strategy games? If so, what's your favorite/least favorite strategy game? I don't play many. I don't play any strategy games at all. I don't know. I don't play many of them. It's not my cup of tea. Number 3. Who's your favorite English anime voice actor or dub actor, whatever you want to call it? I know Eric Vale. I think that's his name. Yeah, Eric Vale did he does Trunks for Dragon Ball Z. He has done, what else did he do? Cuz I know he was something else. He's done a lot of stuff. I think he was Casshern in Casshern Sins. He played Casshern in Casshern Sins. He was Kimberly in FMA and FMA Brotherhood, which is awesome. He was Huey in Baccano, which is awesome. I'm trying to think of what else this guy has done. I know I've seen him in other stuff. What have I seen him in? What have I heard him in, I guess I should say. I'm trying to think. Oh, he voices a character in the English dub of Ghost in the Shell Arise. I gotta listen to that. I gotta watch the English dub of Arise soon. There's also Peter Lurie. He I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I've recently fallen in love with that guy's voice because he does Paxton Fettel for the Fear franchise. He has voiced Paxton Fettel in every single incarnation he's ever been in. He voiced him in the original game. He voiced him in Extraction Point, Perseus Mandate, Fear 2 Reborn, and Fear 3. So I love that voice. That voice is awesome. I can't really think of anybody else because I don't really follow voice talent as much as I do like live action talent. But I'm sure there's other people that I'm just forgetting about. But I guess those would be the top 2 that that are in recent memory. And his last question is, and this is the last question I'll answer for this video, what's your favorite/least favorite JRPG? I don't play many, so I guess I don't really have a favorite/least favorite. I know a lot of people really hate Final Fantasy 13, and I'm not too fond of it either, but I doubt it's the worst of I doubt it's the worst of the genre. There's got to be something worse out there. But since I don't play many, sadly, I don't have much of an opinion on them. And that's about it for today. I've been recording for now an hour and 26 minutes. If you guys made it to the end, thank you very much. I'm going to keep continuing the recording of these because I have to finish this someday. I have to finish this Q&A someday, and I really want to do that for you guys. So if you made it to the end, thank you very much. Thank you guys for supporting all my videos. Thank you guys for watching. It really does mean the world to me. And I just hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as all the other ones. Movies I fucking hate is coming soon. And chances are it's probably going to be 50 Shades of Grey. 50 Shades of bullshit is that movie. And I feel the need to talk about that movie in... talk about it at length because it's so terrible. So, I'm leaving now. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Take care. Have a good one.